Two fellows went camping. Middle of the night, one guy wakes up and he hears rustling about. He looks out from the tent and he sees a bear, a dangerous bear. So he wakes up his friend and he says, we got to get out of here. There's a bear out there. And while he's telling him this, he's tying his shoelaces on his sneakers. And his friend, waking up, says to him, why are you doing that? You think you can outrun the bear? He says, no. All I have to do is outrun you. This is a dog eats dog, survival of the fittest attitude. Unfortunately, it's become embedded in our society and our culture. The last 100, 200 years, I like to call it the Freudian Darwinian model, or the Darwinian Freudian model. A model that has become not just from a point of view of biology, but also a social Darwinism, as some have pointed out. It's about me. Self-interest. The id. My pleasure, my enjoyment. But we have an ego and a superego that keeps things balanced, red lights and green lights, but they're superimposed. It's about me, survival of the fittest. Richard Dawkins' book, The Selfish Gene. The gene itself is selfish. That's one way of looking at life. Another way of looking at life, no. It's a me and a we. Each individual was created in a divine image, has absolute divine and indispensable value. And yet we're also part of a larger organism. And both are necessary. One is not more important than the other. The challenge is balancing the two. So it's a whole different way of looking. It's not about you versus me, us versus them, race versus race, color versus color, black versus white, Hispanic versus other cultures and races. No, we're all in it together. It seems like such an obvious truth that resonates with each of us, and yet it's so elusive. Explains the Arizal, the great, great mystic of the 16th century. It's due to the tzimtzum, that's a Hebrew word, due to a divine concealment, a black hole, where that we consciousness, the idea that everything is part of one larger divine unity, has been concealed from us, to the point that we can deceive ourselves into thinking we are actually fragmented, separate entities. Science and physics has taught us in the last 100 years that's not true. This universe is intrinsically connected. It's a unified universe. Some even compare it to a quilt with pieces on it. But it's all part of one large mosaic. It's the concealment that kills us, where we think there's a us and a them, a me and a we. So rebooting the perspective on life and the perspective on society, perspective on ourselves as individuals, is turning from the me to the we.